All right, we are live. Just make sure you guys can hear me. What's up, Fretman? I had 4 of you guys waiting. That's crazy. I think the notification actually worked today. Can you guys hear me? Looks like it's working. So, what's up? Sunday morning before Christmas. I don't know what you guys got plans for, but I got plans for 50 people on Christmas Eve, if not more. So, been cleaning and throwing out and also cleaning up the shop as well, which has been a huge pain for myself. I have just let everything go way too long, and I finally decided to clean up for reals. So finally just got a couple more toolboxes, a couple more storage bins, and then I pulled out one of the workbenches and then put up 2 more shelves. So I'll do a video of that shortly. My New Year's resolution is to be a little bit cleaner and not take on as many projects. I got a couple killer projects coming up. I've got a Les Paul with a broken headstock that I picked up. I want to do a couple different videos on that. And then that Les Paul restore video, I found a guy with a 53 gold top that needs to be put together, and the headstock broke, so he needs it repaired and put back together in its old fashion. So that's going to be an awesome project. That'll obviously take 6 to 9 months as well, but I'm really looking forward to doing that one. I think I can get some good quality content and rebuild the guitar, which is awesome. So we got 13 of you, 14. Welcome, guys. Happy Sunday morning. We got Fretman and Chris and Ejahar. You guys saw in the preview, Music and Sound Retailer, December 2019. Little make your mark action going on. So got some coverage from earlier. Some of the stuff is starting to hit print, which to me significantly more important to hit print than to hit just online. Online, everything sort of fades after like 2 weeks. So being in print is significant for me. That's a huge deal. What's going on, guys? We got more of you joining. And then I posted a video, I think it was Monday last week. I was selling a bunch of guitars, and 2 of them sold. The Blackie and the Jazzmaster are gone, and I still got the Paisley and the Blackburst. Those are still ready to sell. So if you guys see that video, make me an offer. I'll probably take it at this point. I got too many projects and not enough time to do them. Also been chatting a lot with my other guitar buddies. Lucky Dog, throw him a shout out. And then Mr. Banker, we've all been having conversations just about life and guitars. And interesting guys. I love the Luthier community, man. You guys are great to me, and it's great to share stuff with folks. It's a lot of fun, which is why I always love doing these. But this morning's for you guys. That was my 2 cents of stuff. I got a guitar I wanted to review with you here as well. Just an interesting story on it. And I don't know, just kind of a slow morning. My hands and back are killing me from cleaning up. I packed up probably about 8 bags, full bags of garbage from the kids and myself. So it was a long day yesterday. So the one guitar I wanted to review was this one. This is a Cozart 12-string. I got this on eBay years ago, and when I first got it, it played terrible. It was awful. I couldn't get it to stay in tune. The neck was moving all the time, and I packed it away when we came back from Nashville, and I hadn't played with it in about 2 years. And as I was going through stuff in the shop, I pulled this back out. It's got the original set of strings, and the thing sounds incredible now. I could not believe how much better this thing plays 2 years in versus when I first got it. And that just sort of made me think back to the video I did on the Chibson and the Harley Benton. A lot of the Chinese guitars, the wood is still wet, and wet wood is terrible to use and to play with. And this, I think, dried out. The frets actually, the wood expanded a little bit, and the frets aren't all that even. But as I sort of restrung it up and played it, I was like, man, that was a great deal 2 years later, now that the guitar is sort of dried out and ready to go. So, if you get some crappy guitars that you don't like, it's like put it away, play with it later. I do have a video coming out next week on project failures. I thought I was going to post that this morning, but I figured I'd go live before Christmas and just see what's going on with everybody. That'll show you the Paul Reed Smith project and where it is. I actually put another coat of finish on that, and it's getting really close to getting reassembled. I just have to wet sand and buff and assemble. So that full restore will be coming back shortly. I'll probably have that done within 30 days, I'm hoping. And then I've got the Monster Telly, which if some of you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen pictures of that here and there. So we got almost 30 of you, which is pretty good. It was funny, this week I posted the Chibson Harley Benton shootout. Those guitars are still in the basement, and all of you that know me pretty well know that I don't have the smoothest speaking, saying voice at times, and I used the wrong term on a coil tap versus a coil split, and one guy took offense with that and said I should know better, and shaking my head, and it was just, I don't know, I was really kind of surprised by some of the comments I get on those videos. Like, if you have a controversial video or a controversial subject, that video will take off and run. And if I do these sort of guitar building videos, they don't do anything. My engagement is pretty high, my watch time is really high, but really none of my videos sort of take off after that first initial push. And then if I do like a Chibson or a Harley Benton review, those things take off. And I don't really understand why, other than I think it's controversial and YouTube can play a lot more videos in that vein. But I think I'm going to do more Luthier review videos. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on that. I don't have the capital to buy a bunch of guitars. So the next review guys asked me to do was a Epiphone Les Paul compared to Harley Benton. And I don't have the money to buy all that stuff. So for me, one of the guys was like, why don't you do a Kickstarter or Patreon and do reviews and then sell them? And I'm like, that's a lot of work. If people want to send me gear and I'll ship it back, I could do that. But I actually bought the Harley Benton. It was $200 I found online. I thought at least the income I get from the video will pay for that one, and then maybe I'll sell it. But I don't have capital to buy a whole bunch of guitars. In fact, I'm trying to sell guitars to pay for something else. So yeah, I can't do videos every day. That was the other thing about getting in YouTube's algorithm, is if you post every day, you grow incredibly, and if you post like I do sporadically, you kind of sit out. I do try and do a video twice a week, but I'm running out of time, running out of content at times. So I don't know. These going live videos are a way for me to sort of keep in line with YouTube's content algorithm policies. So I don't know. We'll see. At least I got more of you joining this morning, which is a first for a Sunday morning. Yeah, the recommended videos I've seen even for myself are odd. I followed a bunch of car guys earlier in the year. I like watching some of the car videos. Some of them are pretty entertaining, and then for some reason they completely fell out of my feed. Um, I've been watching a lot of the guy that does the daily reviews. I can't remember his name now. Troglodytes, Trologies. Um, that's kind of what I'm watching on a daily basis. He does some good videos, and I'm watching the guitarist Brad. We've been chatting back and forth. We're going to do some things coming up as well. Whoa, a lot of comments here, so let's get into them. Trogly, yes, Trogly. This is again my speaking. I say what I think, which is usually wrong. So anyone that knows me knows that my speaking skills aren't all that eloquent. I've gotten a lot better with YouTube and doing these videos, but I don't know if I have like a part speech impediment or something, but I see something in my head and go with it even if I know it's wrong. It's very odd. All right, so we got some comments in here. We'll start reading some of these off. If you guys have questions, post them and I'll go through them. I showed the BigDGuitars whiskey barrel guitars earlier in a magazine. I got another email saying that I'll be in another January issue coming up. So I'll post those as they come. I've got them on my Instagram page as well. All right, some of the comments. Let's see. Have you ever radiused a Fender fretboard from a 9.5 to 12? No, I haven't done that. But when you do that, you're going to end up taking off the top of the fretboard essentially because you've got more of a curve. So you're going to essentially flatten it out. And depending on how thick those inlays you can sand through. I don't know how thick the inlays are on a Fender neck. But sometimes you can sand through, so you may have to re-drill. That would be my only sort of concern. So be careful with that, Danny. If you keep sanding on a beam, you may, essentially got to pull all the frets, clean up the board, sand, and then refinish the board. It's not that big of a project, but you got to redo the nut as well. So you're gonna have to take the nut out, redo the whole board, put the nut back in, and then sort of redo everything. You can do it. It's not that big of a deal. I just haven't done that. All right. Let's see. What's up, Gary? Quality over quantity, mate. Your stuff. Most everyday videos are trash. Yeah, I can't do. What I noticed is I get much better content when I do the full build video versus sort of the daily or weekly updates. It's like a core group watches it and then the video fades. So I like doing the full video. I think I need to do the full video first and then release the pieces, but then I sort of run out of content. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Not being inside today. The weather's great in Chicago area. Yeah, I was out yesterday, but I need to clean. I don't know if you guys heard earlier. I'm having 50-something people for Christmas Eve, so it's been cleaning. The interview with Kimball. Yeah, I actually talked to Derek last week. I've talked to him twice. He keeps posting stuff on Instagram, and it's literally killing me. I think I took that piece of wood downstairs finally. I love wood, and he has just got the best stuff of all time. So we talked. We're going to do the interview. I've actually got to mail him the camera I've got. He doesn't have a webcam set up, so we're going to put a camera in front of him and do the audio, and you can just see my ugly face. But he's a great guy. He's just got an interesting story, and I think you guys would love hearing from him. I love him. I really do. He's been great to me. He's got a quality product, and he's a nice guy. So that's coming. That'll definitely be in the new year. I think we'll talk maybe 30 to 40 minutes, maybe even longer. I mean, he's a chatterbox too. So that's coming. It's coming. I come here to learn. You have a good mix on hands-on builds and reviews. Good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, the time lapse was fun. I like doing them. Plus, having Justin Johnson's music in the background is a lifesaver. I can play like a little bit. So the clips I play, I can just show you sort of me noodling around. But man, Justin puts together some unbelievable stuff. I just love being able to use his content. That was one of the things we agreed upon with me doing the guitars for him, is I can use his content, which is great. All right, if you guys hear screaming in the background, I got a 8-year-old playing Fortnite in the basement, so sorry. Do you think painted customs will sell as good as flame maple tops? I don't know. I think some of the really heavy pearl or sparkle guitars are awesome. Those Les Paul customs are awesome. I don't really like painted guitars. I think if you're going to do wood, go get a nice piece of wood and use it. I can't show you the one guitar I want to show you due to legal reasons. But like, this is cool. Like this, I still love this guitar. It's not painted. It's just a piece of poplar, but it is crazy and unique. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's different. You know, this video really didn't do anything for me, and it should have. But it's crazy. I love different things. I don't know if you guys saw the dude that did the Lego guitar, and then there was a guy who did a guitar out of toothpicks or something. Those were just awesome builds. I was like, my Jenga guitar was cool, and then you got dudes who do stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not that creative. So, all right, Steven, that was for you. I have 2 channels, one for mainstream content, second for longer, more detailed content who wish to watch the longer attention. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. Fretman, you might have something there where I would just post like hour-long segments, really detailed. My channel is kind of a mishmash of stuff now anyway. But yeah, maybe it could be like Big D Authentic or something, or Big D Detail builds. That might be it. So we'll see. What time should we be over, Jim? I don't know if I can have everybody over. I do want to do something when I get older, and I want to go town to town to some degree and just go live or whatever and have conversations with you guys from a music store. I have Modern Music right by me here actually I have 2 music stores right by me. Naperville Music, actually 3. Naperville Music, Wheaton Music, and Modern Music, all in the Western Burbs here in Chicago. And I've been in Modern Music a couple times, and I haven't sort of proposed anything to that guy. Like, you know, I could bring in a bunch of wood and stain it and do like a demo. Angelus would be more than happy for me to do that, and I can use sort of Kimball's woods. But I think when I get older and retire, I'll go from city and music store and just, you know, have these conversations with you guys. And I actually was talking with a group about doing like a road show. Would people want to come in and do like a guitar building conference? But I don't know. I think all of our wives hate us for doing this shit anyway. So, honey, I'm going to Vegas for a weekend to watch this dude build guitars. I don't think that's gonna work. All right. Yeah, I did the pencil guitar. So, you know, Burl's Art posted that pencil guitar, and I had a pencil guitar first. Obviously, it wasn't as nice as his, but I had been experimenting for a while, even before I started my YouTube channel with stuff. And I think my biggest mistake was not latching onto YouTube once I saw some of the stuff take off. Like I did that blue top in the basement, the double cut. I was actually playing with that guitar yesterday. I had said earlier this year I was going to refinish it, and I didn't get to that. But I was playing with that, and I knew I could have gotten something going with YouTube. I just didn't earlier. Jahar, I cannot say. Well, I can't show that painted one. Oh, Rich, man, you know that guitar for sure. Visit Fowler's home build shops that actually is an awesome idea. I think for NAMM this year in Nashville, I'm actually going to get a hotel room and then do like 10 hours of interviews with folks for a day, because there's a lot of friends at NAMM that I know that come in, and I think I get like a half-hour interview with them. I may do that this year. I don't know. I may just go to Nashville by myself. I don't know. That's kind of one of the things I wanted to do. Um, I reached out to the guys at Naperville Music, Rich, and I said, "Hey, I build the Whiskey Barrel guitar. Do you want to sell one?" And the response I got was less than favorable, and I don't know if I'll ever go back in there again. The kid that used to run the place, I knew really well. I can't think of his name right now, and we had chatted, and I bought a bunch of gear from him. But then the guys there now could care less, and I was like, really? Like, I'm a luthier in Naperville. Like, literally, I drive by your store 3 times a day, and they could care less. It was very odd. Um, all right, back to everything else here. Thoughts on carbon rods in the back of the neck, leaving it exposed and lacquering a cover. You gotta, Nick. You gotta cover up those rods. If you leave those rods exposed, it doesn't work as well. Once you encase the rods in carbon fiber, you get no flex. There's a little bit of flex in the rod to begin with, so you want to encase it in wood and glue it in, and then that thing becomes rock hard. What's up, Raphael? If your significant other doesn't like it or get it, then you picked the wrong one. That's not true. That's not true. But that's funny you say that. In fact, I've used my spoils from guitar building and the guitars I sold this year to spoil her. She teaches yoga and is into fitness stuff, and I care slightly. And she doesn't like some of the guitar stuff only because it's annoying, and I'm obsessed with it and talk about it all the time. So it's funny. Mark, I am live. I know a lot of you guys ask when am I going live, and you're gonna catch me or not catch me. I know a couple West Coast guys that want to join, and they don't want to. They miss me all the time, so it's hard to miss guys. I am still selling the Paisley and the Black Burl guitar. If you guys saw that video on the week, make me an offer. I can sell it. I just need some money. I got too many bills to pay. Plus, I had to buy a whole bunch of stuff for the shop. Let's see, what else? So some of the boutique shops, it's weird because I don't know Dean up in Highland Park. Dean Guitars, Dean Zielinski. I've chatted with him a couple times. I actually want to go up there and interview him. The only problem is Highland Park from here is like an hour and a half, and I don't have time to take off from my full-time job to go do that stuff. So like I can get a day here and there, but I'd love to go up there and have a conversation with him because there's not many custom shops out here. I do have a buddy, Doug, if you guys know the Guitar ER out here in the western suburbs. Doug is, probably my best friend in the guitar world, and he wants to go do this stuff too because his kids are older, but I still have young kids and my schedule just isn't allowing for it yet. Yeah, Chris, if you continue to talk about guitar stuff, my wife is like, ugh. The funny thing, though, is my wife knows way too much about guitars and whiskey now, and I can't sneak anything into the house at all. So she knows the costs of a custom, like that white custom that showed up, and she's like, why? And I told her, I was like, it's $2,200 or whatever. She's like, well, that's a pretty good deal. I was like, yeah, it is. And then Benny's, the local liquor store, was doing some Pappies. They got their allocation of Pappies, and I went in there, complained, and I was texting my brother-in-law. I was like, I'm on the list for next year. And she's like, what are you going to pay for that? It's like, I'm not going to tell you. So it's funny. Lots of comments here. 30. The slash standing was wonderful. Congratulations. Thanks, Raphael. It's okay, man. It's good to have all you on here. We both have, Fretman says, we both hate each other's hobbies, but we love each other. Yeah, no, that's funny. My wife has a knack for bracelets that begin with a C and have a OVE in them. So you know where that goes. Fat Cat Customs in Elgin. I don't know him. The Ugly Ducklings up. Yeah, Chris, I've seen your models. I love your models. I don't know if you guys want to follow Chris on Instagram. He does models. That's actually how I got into guitar building. When I was a kid, I was building models, and I have just taken that into a bigger thing. Chris, if you want to send me a model, I would be honored to put it in my shop. Not begging, just saying. Let's see, what else? I had a couple other things I want to talk about for you guys that didn't catch me earlier. Out of this is the Music Sound Retailer, December 2019. That's me. It's pretty awesome. So I'm pretty happy. Got a couple more of those coming, and I may actually frame them and put them up on the wall here next to my 20th century guitar review that I had. All right. I'm hoping, well, let me read some of these comments. I'm hoping to build a few to sell in 20 minutes. All times build guitars, but I'm going to some rustic kiln dried pine bodies. Yeah, I would go, if you're gonna do guitars out of pine. I don't have any up here. Rustic and dented is better than new and clean, because those bodies will dent like crazy. So if you're gonna relic it slightly, like if you use a spray on nitro and then dent it up a little bit, you'll just be in a better spot. So yeah, Chris sent me a rifle. No rifles. I can't have any guns. I got kids. And plus it's a whole nother hobby. My father-in-law is into guns, and it's one more thing I can't get into. So whiskey, guitars, tools, I don't need something else to spend my money on. What's up, George Lackey? George, you're in Centrella? I didn't know that. I didn't know you were just, I used to drive through there all the time. I had no clue. FFL, yeah. It was weird. When I was in Tennessee, I could buy whatever I wanted firearm-wise. And now that I live in Illinois, I have to get a card and all this shit, and I just don't want to deal with that. So, like, I had a rifle, got rid of it. Illinois sucks. So I just am not going down that path with guns at all. So we are definitely not talking guitars today. A little bit. I don't know. What else you guys want to see? That was funny. The Jazzmaster that I sold, I lost the bridge, and I found it up here. So the guy bought it, and he wanted to make 2 payments. And he's like, "Did you get the tracking number yet?" And I was actually too embarrassed to say. I forgot where I put the bridge. So I got the bridge here. We'll have to ship that tomorrow. This was really nice. I'll give you guys. This was a really nice guitar. I was really happy with this. I thought I could get more money out of this. This torrefied ash is probably the best piece of wood I've ever used. I love that color. Torrefied ash. I got this from Owl Hardwood in Lombard. I know the owner very well. And this piece of wood is just outstanding. Torrefied ash, that coloring is so cool. And this guitar, I was hoping to get a little bit more money for, but I don't know. I found this one with neck on a deal, so whoever bought it got a huge deal on this guitar. I should take this video and recompile it. I probably will get a bunch of hits on that. Maybe that's another thought for a video. I know you guys had asked for some stain videos, and I just haven't gotten there. I do have a purple stain coming, and I'm sitting on all this beautiful wood from Kimball. I just haven't gotten there. I need to do some stain videos. That's my pride and joy. So how can we be boys without our toys? Yeah, no kidding. It's funny. My wife always complains. She doesn't have a brother. She's got 2 sisters. And I'm like, guys have their stuff. My dad has Lionel trains. My grandfather had Lionel trains. My dad has got probably one of the best collection of Lionel trains you'll see. He's got it all put away. He brings it out for Christmas. Our kids will play with it. But my grandfather was into that stuff. And I never got into the trains. I have some O-gauge stuff, N-gauge stuff sitting in the basement. But I like building stuff. So All right, some guitar-related questions. Bobby, this is a good one. What switch should you use for the neck selector switch on your double neck? That I got from GuitarElectronics.com. It's a 2-position 4-pole switch, so it goes on, on. You need that for the double neck, and then I found wiring for it, and it worked out really nice. Let's see. If you still live in Tennessee, I could have brought you something. I live in Alabama. Oh, I didn't know you were down there, Chris. Where are you in Alabama? You don't have to answer that. What do you think of the Abasai models? I saw Jared get one. I don't know. I've had some weird stories about. So I know people in the periphery of the Abasi or whatever. Again, I'm going to butcher these words. I don't want to really comment. I know the guy that was involved in the first sets of models, and then there was a fallout, and things can be complicated building for guys sometimes. I've been lucky to have a patient couple of guys when I screw things up. But when I see people go public with disputes, it makes me nuts. I could go public with all the people that have pissed me off, and I just don't want to be that guy. There's a couple guys that literally I would beat the crap out of if I met, because of how bad they've screwed me over. But I don't know. I can't comment on that one, man. Yeah, the video interview with Kimball is coming. I mentioned that earlier. The People's Republic of Illinois. I'm trying to get out. Yeah, I hate Illinois. My grandfather was in Illinois politics and told me a joke many years ago, and he's like, he was a Democratic precinct captain because he worked for the city, and he goes, I already know who's going to win. I'm here to count the people to make sure they come, and your vote will never matter in the city of Chicago or the state of Illinois. So it's funny. Ijahar, I'm not going to comment on that. Where's Wasanga Beach? Ken's on here. Have I tried Angelus dyes on a pine body? Yes, I have. There is a antique burst in my video library, Mark. I do a double cut. I do a double F hole. It's like a Sitka spruce top, which is pretty close to pine in terms of how it's going to stain. I did that. It's very blotchy, so you got to rub the hell out of it with steel wool once it's done. But you can get like a really cool antique look doing that. Find that video, Mark. It's a really good video. I did it when I was in Nashville. That'll be helpful. I'll do like a antique burst. I got my baby crying in the basement with Fortnite. All right, we're 33 minutes in. We don't have a whole lot of guitar content today. That's, I guess, my fault. I am posting the retop video tomorrow of another Paisley body I put together. That one's coming. I'm looking at anything to show you guys. I did really start thinking about making jigs and tools to sell. That was maybe my New Year's resolution to some degree, is all you guys look to me for content around building. You don't really want to buy my guitars. So I'm thinking about how to make neck jigs and all that stuff more productionalized. That's one of the other reasons I cleaned up the shop. The problem I have is that I've got the Whiskey Barrel line, plus I have the projects I want to do in my head, plus I want to do the videos, and I just run out of time. So we'll see. I do have one cool guitar concept coming. See that shortly. It's like a Jeep thing. Let's see. Jeff Egan asks, is there really that big of a difference between guitar bodies from GFS and Warmoth? What's GFS? Is that the all parts import guy? There is a difference, and sometimes people get it, sometimes don't. The Warmoth bodies are American made, and they're not imported. The wood is dried properly. It's a quality product that'll last. Some of the import stuff is wet and it'll shrink. And when you seal wet wood with that heavy, thick paint, it just, I'm not going to have this discussion with you guys now, but like, I just don't like it. I think it kills the tone. I don't like heavy paint. That's all. Well, also why I do a lot of hand rub finishes. I like the way a guitar plays and sounds when it's got a thin finish on. I really don't like thick finishes. What neck angle do you prefer for Les Pauls? 4.5 is my preferred neck angle. Anything more than that, your bridge starts to pop up off. That's my preferred. Anything less, you're going to be into the carve, and you're going to have to flatten the carve. So that's kind of what I like. I don't have any Les Pauls up here other than the custom, and I'm not gonna pull that out of the case again. I hope that answered your question, Mark. Are you talking about headstock angle or the body angle? I answered the body angle. The headstock angle, I don't like too heavy of a headstock because then the strings pinch in the nut. I like it like 14-ish. It can be a little bit less. You don't need that much a break angle. All right. There's a good one. Fretman asks, as a luthier artisan, how do you approach explaining, justifying to the blissfully unaware potential customers why you can't compete with inexpensive import guitars? How do I do it? So for me, my guitars are handmade, customized, and it's made specifically for you. The whiskey barrel guitars, there's really nothing like that. So I have a guitar that I completed for a customer. We then inlaid the logo of the company and put it all together. And that is just so unique and a one-off. There's no one else is ever going to make it. So that's how I get around that. I will put parts guitars for guys as well. So I've had people send me stuff and I've helped them assemble. They found pieces of wood and they want to customize a body. I've done that. Jeff, Mark, I answered your question. Guitar fetish. I haven't bought any of the guitar fetish stuff. I just haven't. I am now a, what is it? WD dealer, or whatever. I get builder pricing, so I've really cut down where I buy my parts from now. I used to, like when I was younger and I wasn't a dealer anywhere, I would buy parts from everywhere, but now I pretty much just buy from WD. And then I'll import some plates and mounts from a guy in China that I know. But for the most part, I haven't branched out. I still do buy Warmoth necks here and there. If a guy wants me to make a body, I'll recommend buying a neck from them depending on what they want. I haven't been making as many necks as I have in the past. Just don't. All right, here's another guitar-related question. Do I recommend hard shell cases or high-quality gig bags to store guitars? I prefer gig bags, high-quality gig bags versus hard shell cases. Hard shell cases break everything, and then they crack because it's some of the cheap plastic. Actually, Kevin sent me a guitar, and it's got a flight case, and oh my god, that thing's like a rock. And I don't like it. But it's awesome. If I was traveling, I would use that. But for going around town with guitars, I prefer using gig bags. And even Justin, with all his guitars, was using gig bags, not cases. It just takes up less room and it's a little bit nicer. So I always try and watch what the pros use. And Justin travels with high quality gig bags, like the Levy stuff. I equate guitar fetish to Harbor Freight. Some of the stuff is okay, some stuff is not. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Harbor Freight has some great stuff. I actually bought, when I do the shop tour for you guys, you could see some of the stuff I bought. I bought a bunch of Harbor Freight stuff and then I returned it only because Home Depot was closer and they had more stuff for me. So I I went with Harbor Freight or with the Home Depot stuff, just worked out. But yeah, a lot of the stuff in the guitar world is hit or miss. That's why I like doing the reviews for you guys, because at least you know like what I am or am not doing. I like the side. Yeah, you know, those are really nice. The side adjustment on the Warmint necks. This is nice. I do like that. That is a nice feature. Because what I do is I adjust the neck, get it on, and then I can fine tune it. It's really nice. That is a nice feature that they have, and they're set up to do this work. So the stainless steel fretted necks, compound radius that Kevin had ordered, I couldn't do that. There's no way. That compound radius with stainless steel, I couldn't bend the frets, and I've shipped guitars to him where the frets have popped. Just couldn't do that. When constructing necks, do you use 1, 0, 1, or 2? I usually use 2 string trees, especially on the Whiskey Barrel guitars. They all get 2. It just makes life a little bit easier. We're 41 minutes here. It's 10:15. About average. We had more of you guys join us or join me, but we never really grew past 42. I'm not really sure I understand how this works. What else? Anything else, guys? We're going to call it a day. I'll be posting some of this cool stuff on Instagram. Have a great Christmas. Enjoy the new year. Hope you guys get a couple days off. I am going to be posting some videos coming through. I'll have a couple days off to get into the shop. Am I going to turn the pumpkin? Sometimes. But yeah, we're 41 minutes in. This was a random set of questions today. Did I see the pars? Scott, what are you talking about? Scott F., you said, what did you see the pars? I'll answer yours. Did I see the pets? No, I did. My son was watching the game, and I turned it off. I don't even know who won. It's like a football is like another one of those things. I'm wearing my Chiefs hat today. I've had this for years, and I just sort of root for the NFL. I don't really have a team. The Bears are so hit or miss. Bobby, do I have a part number for that next selector switch? I'll put it in the link of this video. I'll grab it, and I'll toss in this video for you as soon as I'm done. Tim, you're on. What's up, buddy? I didn't know who was or wasn't here, but again, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the family. Somewhat, I know, stressful holidays for some folks. If 50-something people come into this place on Tuesday, so I'm not ready to do that now. I got to go clean the basement a little bit more. So thanks for joining me, guys. This was definitely the most random set of questions. But we'll keep chatting, get some more content posted. Have a great Sunday, and we'll chat, guys. See ya.